Don't you want to know about her? Here she is, Miss Linda Roth. Woo-hoo!
First of all, happy 100th show. I'm honored to be on the 100th. What a huge milestone.
Only fame and fortune and good luck follows, and you bring it to everywhere you go. You are just fabulous. And for someone who's never worked in PR, what's the one thing that surprises everyone about launching a restaurant, per se?
How much work it is. I think what we do is just, oh, you throw parties. Everything's so much fun. I'd like to do that.
That's what I thought you did.
Right. When I retire, I'd like to do that. I was like, oh, really? I said, and what is it that you do? It was like a biophysicist. I go, yeah, I'd like to do that when I retire.
Yeah, it was probably a lot less stressful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert Brooker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here and meeting Miss Linda Roth. For independent restaurants that are feeling overwhelmed, especially in this climate, what's your go-to strategy for being noticed in a crowded market? And you got new things opening up too, and you're just
there's always new places. So there's actually hotels are doing an amazing job, because you know what hotels have? Rooftops, and they open up these amazing, beautiful panoramic views, and especially in DC, where the views are just spectacular, and they're all postcard shots. So working with actually we had two of them that just opened up in like the past month in rooftops. But yeah, it's hard work in doing the research for whatever neighborhood you're in or whatever business is coming to town. So a lot of it is doing all your background, just like in almost, so many other professions. You got to study to see what the situation is and then leverage what you can.
And so many people just think restaurants, they'll just do it, right?
Yeah, well, they do see a lot of places closing and also a lot of places opening. I mean, I've been writing the column, The Latest Dish, for like 30 years, and there's never a lot.
You've been writing that? 30 years?
Yep. Well, I've known you for like 40, so.
I know. It's crazy. It's so fun to interview people that you think you know and you don't really. Grace says, what do you consider success? Grace Cavalieri, Linda Roth, you would love each other.
Success is when you feel like you've done the right thing, and you see it, but other people see it too. And it's, if you're not feeling good about yourself, it doesn't even matter what everybody else says. You're not going to feel that it's successful. So it has to start from what you know you've done. So and even just starting a company, we all got together for the holidays, my entire staff. We were talking. I said, you know, it's the hardest decision I ever made. And they were all like, what? And they were like, I said, hiring my first employee. That is the hardest thing to do, because that's when you have to really start to learn how to delegate.
Who was your first employee? I can't remember.
Oh, my first employee was Susan Brackna Mintz. And I hired her because I was working with Morton's, and Morton's kept expanding and expanding. And then I got this gig to promote computer shows around the country. So we do, just like little heads up, we do more than just the restaurants. And I knew I was going to be traveling, and I need to have somebody that actually got it and knew what she was doing and loved the biz. So that was Susan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell everybody a little more about everything that you really do. The woman behind the scenes. You know that woman? This woman is an unsung hero. And you never know it. She's elegant, dignified, just knows, gets it done, and doesn't say a word.
Well, I say a lot. Nobody's ever accused me of, being shy or quiet.
Being for the people, you don't say enough.
And there's a lot out there. I mean, this town is so rich in events and people and new things. You know what? I tell people, I don't have to move to be in a new environment. It changes every 4 years here. So you always have new people and new things happening. And so that's what makes it such a dynamic area. It's also what could make you completely nuts too, but it's never boring. It is never boring. So, I mean, just look I learned from our friend Michael O'Hara. if you want to know how to take advantage of what's happening, just take a look at the top of the news, see what's going on in the top of the news. Back in the day, it was like, make sure you read the front page of the paper. And then now it's like, just see what's happening and then work with it. I mean, in this town, it's like our national news is our local news. So we got like more to deal with. And also we have sports teams and we have theater. So there's so much to be able to leverage and to work with between all the amazing nonprofits that we have. So that's why we're never bored, and you just build up your network. And I tell my staff, if you're going to join any kind of organization, you join it to lead it. And that's what they've been doing. You just don't join because you're like, okay, I don't know what I'm getting out of this. Am I going to know it? So, but you do it because you're going to make a difference, and you're going to make it feel like, okay, I was successful doing this.
And people love you, and they love what you do for them. How do you do that for chains entering DC? How do you make them feel local and loved by the community? That's one of your secret sauces.
How do people feel local and loved? I think getting involved. There's usually when we do an opening of almost anything, it's
how you did anything? I think you froze, my darling.
Your resources, and you meet more and more of their connections, and that's how your network grows. And then you just have more options, and that is the secret of life: options.
Yes, and relationship capital.
Yeah, because the more you have, I think the more you feel like you have more freedom.
Yeah. And you learned that one really quick. Entrepreneur in Washington, D.C. all this time and surviving and thriving. Whew.
Well, that's because it's never boring here. I try to whenever anybody moves out of this area, I think that's when they really appreciate all that goes on here. Okay, if you go to New York, you're like, okay, you got nothing. There are some places that are just offered all. I mean, we'd have theater, but we don't have a theater district like New York does. But I think we're working on it.
Yes.
And also we get a lot of the shows here before they go to Broadway. So we get to see, I remember seeing Mean Girls here, and they were tweaking it. And you waited like a month and you went to see it again. And it was like sort of a different show because they were tweaking it till it got to the point where it was ready. It was ready for Broadway. And so I think that's an advantage.
That's very cool one. Yes, everything happens here. For young women starting out in food and beverage, what's the lesson from Les Dames de Scoffy's that changed your trajectory or would change theirs?
So I joined, it was about 25 years ago, I joined Les Dames de Scoffy, and it was an organization of women in food service. It was all types of areas of food service. So it was not just chefs and restaurateurs and nutritionists and food writers and cookbook authors. It was also catering managers and distillers and brewers and winery owners and women who work with waste management and food. In DC, we have members from the Smithsonian that are food historians. So whenever we want to have an event, it's like, I wonder if we can do it at the American History Museum over there. Yeah, let's talk to our member there about doing something. It's just, you can do amazing things as you keep expanding your network. And I was the president of the DC chapter twice.
Ooh.
So I didn't get my gold robe yet because I has to be a few more, but it was definitely, I learned how to work with other presidents of other chapters so that we could kind of make ourselves stronger and just more valuable by working together. And I remember I had one of our clients was Pro Chile, which is promoting all things about Chile and not just wine and food. It was other areas, but we did a seminar in New York, and it had some educational aspect to it. And we couldn't get people to, we couldn't get enough people to sign up. So I went to the chapter president in New York and I said, we're getting our wines from this member of your chapter and it's educational. And she said, that follows our charter. I'll send it out to our membership, and it filled up within the day.
Wow.
So that's how you leverage and support each other. So that worked out well.
Use of relationship capital.
Yeah, not to mention going to London. We have a chapter in London. It's an international organization. I wanted to get into a restaurant I couldn't get into. I called the chapter president there, and she said, I don't really know those people. Excuse me. I don't really know those people very well, but I'll see what I can do. And then my phone in an hour showed I had to confirm reservation. I was like, yes.
See? She's an unsung hero and everyone jumps for her.
And so I told her, I said, when you come here, babe, you let me know wherever you want to go. I will make that happen.
When's she coming?
I don't know. She hasn't told me yet. I see her in other cities. We have our international conferences in other cities. So we haven't, it hasn't been in DC since then. So.
We'll have to have her on the Cynthia Manion Show when she comes.
Yes. Yes.
So for anyone writing about dining trends, how do you spot the next big thing before it hits the latest dish?
Oh, that's the people that we know in the trades. So a lot of the trade media that we stay in touch with, we get to see what their stories, because they plan several months out. And the trends piece that's coming out now was planned a couple months ago. So that's where and they coordinate with everybody to try and find out what's going on in your city and what are people trying to adjust to, or what's exciting, what really gets it going there. So we kind of look at things. There's a big international element of fusion flavors. It's not that there hasn't been fusion, but it's really unusual fusion now. That's like things you wouldn't think of, but it's like, why not? So, it's not just it may be, Japanese with Southern food. It may be things that are combinations you wouldn't think of and you get chefs that want to work together and they're going to make it happen. And then also in trends on like rooftop right now. So I think outdoor dining was big during the pandemic. Right now, not so much. It gets to be kind of costly, but because you have to have staff for both inside and outside. During the pandemic, it was like one staff. They were mainly working outside. And now that we're far enough past the pandemic that not really an issue. But then rooftops, it's like you can still be outside and not breathe in the fumes from the street. So that even works better.
It seems more exclusive than when you get a sunset.
Yeah, I just watched the sunset at Realm, which is at 9th and O, and watching the sunset there. It just opened. I'm like, that's where I want to go. That's where I'm going tomorrow night too. So yes.
Ooh, what other places would you recommend right now in Washington, D.C. to our young star wannabes and stars that are and stars that aren't with us anymore?
There's so many fun places to go to. So for Mexican, I go to Delania. That's one of Richard Sandoval's restaurants. So there's always something, even when people say, I don't really like Mexican, I go, oh yeah, you want to try this. This is not what you think it is. And if you do love Mexican, you're going to love it even more here. Where I go, I have some the rooftops or the outside. I love to watch sunsets. So the Point in Southwest, you just sit out there right on the water. It's where three rivers come together. So I'm in ecstasy watching sunsets and eating fresh seafood. I'm a big seafood fan. So
my heaven, my personal heaven. Yes.
Yes.
Grace Cavalier put a question up asking you about the glass ceiling. Talk about the glass ceiling in your industry, please. Thank you, Grace.
There have been, it's an ongoing battle. Our industry, I think in all industries, if the only way to break through is to become the owner. So I talk to people that it's challenging within organizations, that's where you learn your nuts and bolts. And then there's so many women now that are starting their own restaurant groups, they start with one restaurant. Look at Centralina and Amy Brandwine and how she's grown. And it's Hollis Silverman. There's different women that realize that the way not to have a glass ceiling above your head is when you build a house.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. A food for thought, so to speak.
But it's not easy. It's not easy. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Whatever it is, you gotta love it.
For nonprofits like DC Central Kitchen, how did Kitchen Cabaret at the Kennedy Center come together and raise?
Oh my God, that was so that Kitchen Cabaret was the predecessor to the Capitol Food Fight, which is wildly popular right now. And it came together because DC Central Kitchen wasn't going to make payroll. And I got this call from, God bless his soul, Jean-Louis Paladin, who is no longer with us. And he said, we have to help DC Central Kitchen. We have to do an emergency fundraiser. And I said, and you're calling me because, and he said, because you work with the restaurant associates at the Kennedy Center. You're the only restaurant in town that you're done by 8 o'clock. Everybody's downstairs in the theater at the Kennedy Center. So we can hold an event at your place at 8:30 and we'll use all the chefs. He goes, I've already got all the chefs, Roberto Donna. And it was just like every great chef. They were selling tickets to their best customers. And the kitchen was so big at the Kennedy Center. There was room for all of them to cook. So I said, okay, well, the one thing is I have to have a talk with, my client about doing it here and working within their organization. But everybody worked together and we made payroll. We helped DC Central Kitchen make payroll. It was called Kitchen Cabaret because the chefs, they're at the Kennedy Center. They performed. So we had some chefs, it was in front of the house manager sang opera. Carol Greenwood time played piano. We had the All-Star Chef Band. There was, I think it was a couple of the chefs played drums and guitar. And Roberto Donna does magic. So he dressed up, he had the hat and the cape and he did magic. And a very young new guy that came to town, Jose Andres, did flamenco dancing. So it was with his wife. It was an amazing evening. We did it for a couple of years, and then it transitioned into. It was too small a venue at that point. So it's now a much bigger event. The Capitol Food Fight, like twice as much fun. The chefs. The tough part of that is they had to time their food when they weren't performing. So not only, and you could hear them at one point, you could hear Roberto screaming in the kitchen, the pasta's ready, the pasta. Well, you could hear it outside. They felt that was part of the show.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's part of the show. Yeah.
Nothing better than just real life showing up and being authentic. If talk about authentic, you got the best name here. Sandy Shell says hi to you.
Oh,
hey.
Hey.
I love your name, Sandy Shell. That's so perfect to go with Linda's Sunsets by the Water. Fabulous. Patricia, hello, Patricia. She goes, hello, everyone. Congratulations. Oh, thank you. 100 episodes today.
Yes.
Woohoo! By accident. Amazing.
That's a big deal.
The time of my life. For hotels balancing luxury and approachability, what's one of those campaigns that nailed both for your clients, for them?
Oh,
well, everything she does is
it's hard to pick out one. I mean,
give us a few. Top 5, top 3 favorite.
Well, we've when the St. Regis became the St. Regis, we worked with them on that changeover. It had been the Sheraton Carlton, and it became a St. Regis. And the challenge was every Grand Dame hotel in different cities that became a St. Regis, they weren't built from the ground up. They changed. They were all different. They didn't look alike, but they had to have that same outstanding service and just feel when you walked in. And so we had to make sure that translated with that, which did pretty well.
I'll say. Amazing. Amazing.
But new hotels are so exciting. They're just, it's like the smell of a new car. It's just like, oh yes. So we just newly renovated hotels are like, yes.
It is so fun to see all the new things that are coming up and the decor and the pictures and how they did that and how they did this and the color use and
yes. I mean, out in Reston, the Marriott, the AC, it's all spectacular and new. Their rooftop that looks out over that sunset, so you can go in different parts of the city to see your sunsets. You can tell I'm obsessed with sunsets.
Oh, you could do a book on sunsets of DC. Prime locations. I want to copy, and I'll go in order. I love it. I love it. What a great idea for food.
So help me do my research.
Yeah, exactly. You probably already did half of it or more. Food service pros that are, what is it? Restaurant Association of Metropolitan Washington, RAMW. What's behind the scenes story of your board impact that still makes you smile?
Oh, so I haven't. In all truth, I was on the board a while ago. So if you are not a restaurant, you are an affiliate member, and so that rotates more frequently board members than the restaurateur board members. So you got to make room for. I guess everybody wants to be an affiliate board member, and you do have some great impact, and you meet some great folks and help, but you work. You definitely work. It's not, that organization has to work with the Maryland, Virginia, and DC councils and all the laws that affect this tri-state area. So it's doing triple duty, especially in these days when so much is changing and so much is trying to adapt. So, I mean, streeteries, they became a lifesaver. And now they're trying to determine how's that fitting into our lifestyle and budgets these days. So it's, but I have, we worked with the RAMW for many years and helping develop all their restaurant week and cocktail week and the Rammys. It's the Oscars of our Washington, D.C. restaurant community. So, and I was
honored that. And you gave a speech and it was amazing.
Yep. I was I got an honorary.
Tell them about these Oscars.
It's first of all, you get to see everybody that you work with all dressed up. I mean, everybody cleans up well. So it's people and people get pretty creative. So it's not just, a tuxedo, it's something sparkly, or it's tuxedo shorts, or it's just, you name it. This industry is wildly creative, and it's all kinds of fun and innovative just outfits. And plus the awards, we learn so much every year on who's doing what, and then create an award that's appropriate for, maybe some of them are unsung heroes. So we get to notice those folks too, whether it's a manager or it's somebody that promoted it, the neighborhood gathering place. So, because we love our neighborhood gathering places.
We love our neighborhoods, and we love your neighborhood. Actually, we have some fun pictures you can talk through here. Eric, let's look at some of these little cute pictures we have of Miss Linda with her husband in their backyard with their dog.
That's my baby.
And here, and look at that painting behind her, ladies and gentlemen.
That painting was done by Tom Meyer, who was the president of Clyde's Restaurant Group. And he was also got into painting and loved his painting. And now that's what he does. He transitioned into his other true passion besides cooking, because he was a chef that became the president of Clyde's Restaurant Group. And then, so and I told him, I said, I want to buy one of your paintings. He said, I don't think I'm selling them. I'm going, oh, you will. Enough people will like them. You will. And he does. So that is
so fun. I didn't know he painted. Oh, our friend Twyla. She was a model here in Washington, D.C. and Miss Virginia, I believe, USA.
She was Miss Maryland.
Miss Maryland.
Yes.
We love her very much. And I ran into her sometimes in New York and doing swimwear model. And she did a poster for Deweese, among other things. And
Yeah, and I miss her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Oh.
oh, here I am with you in your living room. That was so
Yes.
fun. You did such a beautiful ceremony for her. Just touching and touching and touching. And look at her. To Linda
Oh,
Roth
with
with
Barbara
that.
Bush.
Please tell.
That woman was a lot of fun. She made me feel like I was important
You
visiting
are.
her.
That's a great shot.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm trying to, here, I gotta put on my
Someone's
glasses.
interview, signature autograph. It must be important.
Um, yeah, I'm
Muhammad
trying.
Ali, perhaps?
I do have Muhammad Ali's, but that doesn't look like his autograph. But that is Frank Howard. So I have a few of those. That's the room I'm in now. What's got
Oh, that room is so fun. You wouldn't believe the cool stuff she has in there.
And that is a oh yeah, the Beatles. That is a from the All-Star game that was held here in DC at Nats Park. The next night, or I think maybe the night before, the Eagles performed. So they signed a uniform, a Washington Nationals uniform, and it was my friend Tanya Sharp, who works for Live Nation, has a charity that they work with, and I bid on it.
Fabulous.
Got it.
That is, oh,
Huge Eagles fan. So that worked out. So, and Eagles and Beatles. I will always be a Beatles fan.
okay.
That's Muhammad Ali's glove, and Joe Frazier too.
Oh,
that was when Fight Night was. They had a lot of the greats in. Actually, Muhammad Ali was not from Fight Night. It was he. I worked with the Larry King Cardiac Foundation for a number of years, and Larry was when he created the foundation. It was for people who fell between the cracks. So it was help to pay for cardiac surgery, and he and Muhammad had this great relationship to help each other. So he helped us all the time. He said, "Oh, you want us to?" I'll sign gloves. He signed a poster. One time I had a bidding war on this poster that he signed. And I told both of them, both the people bidding on it, I said, if both of you bid the same amount, I will ask Muhammad if he will sign a second poster so you will both have one. And he did. Because what a nice man. What a really nice man. So that was kind of fun. Yeah, I have as you saw, I have like a shrine in my house of the times I've met Muhammad Ali. So, and that was Bill Clinton crashing my birthday party. He didn't realize he was crashing my birthday party. He thought he was at James Carville's book signing party, which was on the other side of the private room that was divided in half at the Palm. And he was having a real good time because I had all my friends there. And so finally I had to give him back to James.
But how wonderful of him to stop by for your birthday.
I know.
Your friends must have been like, woohoo, now we know who Linda Roth is.
That really was hilarious.
Woohoo.
But that's my boxing. There's Muhammad, and the different times I've met him at once was at the he was at a book signing for his friend Howard Bingham, who did the ultimate photographs of Muhammad Ali, and he was there at Govinda Gallery signing the book along with him, and none of the sports writers knew he was in town because he was just doing it for Howard, and he didn't want it to be about him. But of course, I called Tony Kornheiser, who's a friend. I said, guess what? Muhammad Ali's going to be in town. He's like, I think we would know it if Muhammad Ali was in town. And I said, you want to bet? And he goes, wait a minute. I'm going to call Wilbon. Wilbon, you know Muhammad is in town? He goes, no. I go, oh, I want you to meet me over at Govinda Gallery at 6:00. And I'm only going to bet $100 because I don't want you to lose anything more than that. And then I walked in and he was just staring at him going, how did you know this? I was like, got to know people everywhere, sports, arts, everything.
And that's our secret weapon right here with Linda Roth.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was him. And we did a book launch for Larry's book, Powerful Prayers, and asked Muhammad to host it. And he said yes. And that was, he does this goofy stuff where he has you kiss him and he looks like he's being knocked out. So that was him doing that. I loved it.
Cute. That is so cute. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And that was the first time I met him at Sportscasters Hall of Fame when he was being honored at that. So.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Holly Odell. Hello, Holly.
Yes.
Another wonderful model from the Washington, D.C. area.
Yeah.
Oh, these are beautiful. Tell about these.
These are my sister-in-law is a photographer, and she develops her own photos. And so that's why it has that kind of sepia tone to it, because she's amazing at developing as well as has a great eye. And she's got a great story. She used to be the Los Angeles editor of People magazine too. And before that, she had, remember the show PM Magazine? She was the host of one of the PM magazines too. So talk about somebody who's got a lot of talent. And that is Twyla's husband, who's an artist.
Right.
And I have his, he sketched Twyla. So I have some of his sketches too. And that,
Kennedy.
Okay.
Puppy and Rehoboth.
Oh, my puppies. Yes, I now have Lola and Alfie.
Lola and Alfie. Oh, how adorable.
They are, I get a lot of steps in every day.
Perfect.
Lola and Alfie. That's a good thing to make sure you get out and get your cardio. Get a dog, get two, and then make it even more interesting.
Do they go at the same time, or does sometimes one have to go out?
No, they go out at the same time. They like to do everything together. So they're, And Lola's the mom. I was actually just getting Lola, and then Alfie was supposed to be adopted by someone who didn't show up. So I said, well, we'll foster him. Don't worry. And then, after 2 days, foster fail. Like, well, he's not going anywhere. We love him. Jonathan was like, we're not getting rid of him.
Oh, that's a good hubby. You guys have the best time together. It shows in your face. You're just living your best life now, I think. So for people coming to the Destination DC partners, how do you advise them on turning restaurants and making a tourism buzz into tourism gold?
Well, so Destination DC is another organization that I've been on the Partnerships and Alliances Committee for many years too. And every client we meet with that's getting ready to open, we highly recommend that they become a member of Destination DC, which is our CVB that helps promote them in the city. So if they do, I show people that you may have seen it if you Googled me. They did a whole piece about our company. Of course, we're members, and they do that for everybody that joins. So you get this, and they do it on Instagram. So you get this huge. Anybody that wants to come into DC, hold an event in DC, they always go through Destination DC, and that's where you get all this exposure. So they have a lot of members, and everybody complements each other. It's not just hotels, it's transportation, it's like florists, it's caterers, it's everything that comes together to create amazing events in DC. So I just went to their holiday party this morning. They had a breakfast because there's so many events this time of year. They did a breakfast, and it was packed. And it benefited, they have their own in-house nonprofit, which is called Next DC. And it basically is an internship program for high school seniors to intern in different members' businesses around the DC area. So I got to meet a couple of their students, and one of which said, I'm following up with you. This is what I really want to do, and I want to be able to learn more. So
very fun.
Yeah.
Now you're even a bigger trendsetter, following you and giving back. That's so lovely.
Well, it's a great organization. Sometimes it's like, oh, you really need to join this, but this one is like, no, you really get stuff out of this. So and because there's only so much money that businesses can spend in their associations belong to. So they really carefully try and pinpoint what's going to be the most beneficial. So between that and if they're a restaurant, the restaurant association are like the two that you gotta.
Yeah.
It's, you want somebody speaking on your behalf, those two, you gotta. And they're great people.
Amazing people. You hang with an unbelievable crowd. You probably have like ideas like this going all the time. Like, but how do you get inspired?
Oh, just seeing what's going on. Sometimes just studying a situation, going, you know what we could do to make that even cooler if we bring in this partner or this partner. So it's just, you have to be out and you have to have as much sensory input of what's going on, and also read to see who's coming to town and try and catch them. We have FIFA they just did their draw for the upcoming World Cup, how to leverage that. We have the 250th anniversary of this country coming up, and there's going to be a ton of stuff. So trust me, we're already on that and things that we're planning to do with our clients. And also we work with Events DC, and Events DC's got a lot that they're planning for this. So, yeah. So we do a couple of events for them, like Passport DC and the Embassy Chef Challenge. We know our embassy chefs.
Embassy Row, guys, if you haven't been there, that's a nice little walk to see how they built their buildings and what they're up to. And for event planners dreaming big, what's the secret that you do to match those celebrities with the DC's culinary scene?
What, match the celebrities with?
Yeah, like like you said, you see how you can make it better by bringing people in from your different associations. How do you get how did you get Muhammad Ali to come and do that besides being friends and just asking him sweetly like you do?
Well, yeah, honestly, he did it for Larry. So I'm not fooling myself. I know that. Or so I have two friends that became famous. One of them is Larry. I knew Larry long before he had a radio show that was on from 11 at night to 4 in the morning. Trust me, he had a really weird crowd of people listening to him. So that was before CNN. And the others is Franny Drescher, who was before The Nanny. I know, two friends with unusual voices. Imagine that. So,
yes,
and
tell
Franny, I just loved her. So she was good friends with Donna Dixon, and I know Donna.
Oh, Donna, yes, I worked with her.
Trance days, yeah. And so whenever she came in town, she would bring Franny with her, and I'd get the call like, okay, plan this dinner is going to be like, whatever, 5 or 6 of us coming in. So I'd plan something fun. And when I met Franny, I was like, I love this woman. She's hilarious. And I would sit next to her and I talk like her. So she goes, you think I talk like that? I go, you absolutely talk like this. So, but just adored her. Plus she was just so witty and brilliant. She is a brilliant businesswoman. And then she got her hit show, and that was persistence and perseverance. But okay, here's a little fun fact. When I first met her, she had a TV show that was a pilot. It was about 4 women that were roommates in New York City, and they all had different careers. And it didn't make it because for other reasons that wasn't about the show not being interesting, but somebody had to drop out. One of them was Twiggy. I don't know if you remember. So Twiggy was a model in the 60s. So that didn't work out. So Franny went to visit Twiggy in London. And Twiggy said, and she's a very successful businesswoman, and said, I have a meeting in Paris. I'm going to be gone for a couple of days and then I'll be back. But, stay in my house, my kids, you can like hang with my kids. And she was sort of a nanny for her kids. And that's where she got the idea. I mean, Twiggy had a nanny, but.
Yep. Every situation can inspire you guys.
Yeah.
Open your brains. Think outside the universe.
Everything is an opportunity. So just
be aware. Brilliant.
Yeah.
What a great story. I never heard that one before either. That is so cool.
And everything's been part of her life story. When Happily Divorced was about her and her husband, Peter. So it was, everything's from what you know. They tell authors, write about what you know, because
yeah. And for some reason, we always think it's boring. Like, why would anyone care? And now I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So it's interesting that they and I was so happy for, obviously for both of them, and it was kind of fun to see the transition, to see then all of a sudden how people approach them. And it was just it was kind of a revelation to see what it looked like from that close up.
And what did it look like?
I mean, Larry got like, he's I remember one time when we were doing it for his Larry King Cardiac Foundation, everybody said yes to him. Everybody, whoever we asked, they said yes. So whoever was the top performer at the moment, we'd say, hey, would you come and perform for free for us? We'll put you up in the, we had the Ritz-Carlton had just opened in West End, and they all said yes. So for free, but I mean, we still, paid for their lodging and all, but it was an amazing experience. And just to be able to work with those kind of people and to make sure that you met their expectations, because I'm sure what they were used to, and a corporate gig is a lot different than playing an arena. And we had some of the people like Tim McGraw that were used to playing huge venues, and it was like 650 people, and he's like, do these people know who I am? I was like, oh, do they ever? I said, I got people who've already asked me, can they just move up and just be as close as possible as they can to you? And he went, really? I said, yeah, you know what? I am one of them.
Me too. Yeah, that's fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned in your intro about the Juniors League Women's Leadership Breakfast that you were on the panel with Carla Hall. How'd that conversation go?
So it's the junior league is not your grandmother's junior league anymore. And I when I worked for Michael, I worked down the street from their offices in Georgetown, and it's a lot different now. And so when they asked me to pay the women's leadership breakfast, the topic was it was talking about culinary, and it was about creative culinary, and they had Carla as their keynote speaker. And Carla and I go way back too. She's been a member of Les Dames about as long as I have. So she's, in fact, one of the the woman who was the president of our chapter is the one who submitted her name for Top Chef. She didn't even know it. She thought it was like a scam call. And then finally, Catherine said, no, I submitted your name. It's for real.
That's fun.
So,
that's fun.
Yeah. And it was, and I was with some amazing women that were on the panel. Jess Sidman from Washingtonian led the panel. Nikki Nellis from The List Are You On It was on the panel. Erin Tucker Olawale, who's a professor of hospitality. She was at Georgetown. She's at University of Maryland now. And it was just this, and Tiffany Williams from Martha's Table. So I got to meet her. So we all had different perspectives of our industry that we could integrate into this conversation that was so much fun. These women are so much fun. So it was a really nice experience, and it filled up the Willard, which is
fabulous.
Willard Ballroom. There was a lot of women there.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Very fun. Switching to small business advocates, what issue did you bring up to Senator Kaine? And what was his name, Waukesha, that fired you up?
Oh, which time? I mean, there's there's a lot of issues, so I'm not sure which one, but Kaine has always been an advocate. In fact, he is also a performer. He
really?
At Blues Alley, I saw he was part of a group of Blues Alley that I went.
Really?
Yes. Huh. A little known fact. That's how I really got to meet him, because when my friend said, I have a friend, and she's very political, and she said, I bet you don't know he's in a band. I was like, yeah, right. And then there he was. And good, and really good too. And just he's a big supporter of a lot of the hospitality industry, because hospitality is so important to Virginia. So keeping our industry on solid ground is important. And right now, I know the word is uncertainty, and we're trying to stabilize that. So there's less uncertainty, because if you want any kind of growth to happen, people have to feel certain about their business. That the people who are investors have to feel more confident. So that's what the focus is now, to make sure people understand that this is a solid base to build on. So whenever you have a politician that's consistently been supporting you, that's always you feel very confident that your whole community is going to continue to grow and support each other.
Yeah, that's good. For Baltimore,
I'll let you know the next time he performs too.
Yeah, I'd love to come. That would be a hoot, especially a blues alley. I saw Eva Cassidy there.
Oh, whoa. Okay, that's something.
It was. I saw her twice, actually, maybe 3 times before.
Right. Yeah.
For Baltimore natives now, how did serving at the Dirty Dog Saloon teach you guest connections that last?
Oh, that was my first job in the industry.
Ever. Is that what got you fired up with passion?
Oh, yes. I lived in Ocean City, Maryland, so it was bound to happen. My first job was going to be in a restaurant. And it was, their main dish was steamed crabs, and they were right across from Frontier Town, which is where families went. And a lot of those families weren't from Maryland, but they wanted to try steamed crabs for the first time. What I learned is to ask, have you ever had steamed crabs before? Because the first time I didn't ask, and I served it, and you get the wooden mallets, and this guy just took the mallet, looked at the crab, and went wham, and covered the ceiling, everything in crab meat, crab shell, everything. And I remember like pulling it out of my eyes and going, can I show you a better way to do that?
With such diplomacy as Linda Roth is known for.
Yes. So, but it was fun. And that was when, the one thing I also remember about that place is the bathrooms. The door on the bathrooms for the men and women said it was Dirty Dog Saloon. So it was a picture of 2 dogs, a pointer and a setter. And there'd be people just in front of the 2 doors staring at it. And I go, you go in that one. It's like, get it? Get
it? Oh, that's fun. And now you don't even have to.
Yeah.
For networking pros, what's your signature event tip from your 13, 14 years with the American Marketing Association?
Oh, yes. That was one of the organizations that I said, okay, if I join this, I have to do something. I have to lead in some area. So they created a new board position for me it was the vice president of networking, because a lot of reason why people join associations, almost any, is to network and make other business contacts. Well, their networking events were kind of like, meh. So I turned it up a notch, and I said, why don't we do these networkers at my clients, where my clients will make it a deal where it'll benefit both. So it'll be a new place that's just open. It'll be a cash bar, but I'll ask them to do complimentary appetizers, and also a drawing for a gift certificate, because that way, whoever enters the drawing, then the establishment can legitimately get their mailing list from that, or their listserv from that, because I wasn't giving them anything. They had to get it the legitimate way. Brilliant. So all of a sudden, the word came out that there was cool new places. It was great food, and they got a chance to meet other people. And we did, sometimes we did like speed networking, or we did something fun, and then they get to win something. And we took a photo. So
That's
the
fun.
restaurant or whatever the venue was promoted to all the members. And these are the members that actually plan events for their companies. So it was really a win-win. And they got a second round of publicity for the winner, the photo and the newsletter of who won the gift certificate. So everybody felt really good about this was helping.
And phenomenal input from everybody to make such a grand event.
Yeah. So it's still, I still go to networkers, and now after 13 years on the board, I was like, yeah, I'm going to pass this along because
You've served, you've
yeah.
done. And Eric B. Flanor says, good evening, ladies. God blessings to all, and right back at you. With family run spots, how do you help them tell their story without losing those authentic, charming moments?
With
family spots, family restaurants, family run spots.
Oh, that's what you build on. That's an asset. So
it's a story.
Yeah, that's I mean, you build on, like when we opened RIS, and RIS was it was her, but it was like a family. We work with the independent operators too, and you leverage what makes that special, whatever it is that makes it special. RIS is one of the most nurturing human beings I have ever met, and she has a kitchen crew that is so loyal, has been with her for such a long time. So it's and also she has some dishes. She used to work at some other places. She was at 1789 for 10 years. And then there was a period of time where she consulted for like Lebanese Taverna. And that family is a wonderful family. I did some work with them as well. And some of the dishes she created for them, she's still serving. Her lamb shank. Oh my God, her lamb shank. Yes. So it's, that's an asset. And they, what makes them special is going to continue to make them special because they realize what it is that draws people to them.
Yeah. And that's even more valuable now when we try to get back to our roots, so to speak, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh goodness, we're running out of time and I have like a zillion more questions. Let's go to Federal City Council SWAT team approach to solve DC's toughest issues with building community over there.
That was so the Federal City Council is an organization made up of 250 business leaders. You have to be asked to join by Tony Williams, the former mayor of Washington, and he's been leading it for quite a while now. And he has, when you get the call that he wants to talk to you, because you go through a process where he talks to you, because if you're asked, there's a reason why you're asked, and you have a serious conversation, and it's an honor, actually, quite an honor to be asked to join, because the people that you're in the company of. And then we got the contract from the bid council, which is the business improvement districts, for return to office. This was back when they were trying to make sure they could bring everybody excited back to work. Well, we had to pivot because there was no policies that were requiring people to come back to work. So we changed it to return to city life. What do you miss and love about DC? And you're going to come back for that. So we changed that, and he said you're going to do a District Strong on it, District Strong, or the webinars that we have for membership to show what we're doing to get people back into DC. So we did one of those. That was my call to action, and I'm still waiting because I know there will be other calls to action. But and now we work with the downtown bid. Did you just read about how we broke a world's record for the most couples kissing under the mistletoe?
Oh, I did.
Yes.
Tell us about that. That's
perfect. That was us getting the publicity for
him. Of course. Oh my gosh.
It was great. It got so viral from what we were posting that we had the head of the downtown bid, Jaron Rice, had to ask the police to shut down the street where we were doing it because there was more people than we could handle. So they were like underneath the mistletoe. It was a humongous mistletoe, but there was over 1,400 people. that were under that mistletoe. And yes,
rang
we
for
broke
that.
the world's record, and it was certified by Guinness. So it's a certified record now. So
That's
the
so
kind of
cool.
stuff. And the holiday
She's
market,
so
it was
cool, isn't she?
done. We were going to do it at the holiday market, and then it just got too big. So people can still go to the holiday market.
Okay, and watch out for your mistletoe, ladies and gentlemen, during this holiday
You can still
season.
kiss under it. Yeah.
For writers pitching columns, what's the hook that landed the latest dish in the Georgetowner? How did you pull that one off?
So for me writing the column?
Well, both, yeah.
Oh, so initially I wrote a column for a trade publication about new restaurants opening, and it was for vendors and suppliers. And I did that for a number of years until the publication went away, which was sad. So vendors and suppliers, it was this mutual admiration society. They got their leads. They would use my column for leads because I'd write about places before they open. And they in turn would always, or they often recommended us, not always, but. And then my friend Sonia Bernhardt, who's the publisher of the Georgetowner, she said, "Oh, my columnist that writes about restaurants is going on vacation. Can we use your column?" And I said, "Yeah, but my column is about places before they open." And she went, "Oh, people love that." I'm like, "Yeah, but it doesn't help the restaurant because they're not open yet." And she goes, "Doesn't matter." So I repurposed my column for her, and then I added to it because this is very funny. Tom Sietsema, who was the Washington Post reviewer, said one of the times he called up, he goes, "You write about these places and when they're going to open, but sometimes they don't open when you say they're going to open. And I use that as a guide for when I'm setting up my schedule to visit them." I'm like, "Well, sometimes there's a permitting issue or construction issue. And they don't open when they think they're going to open." I said, "Do you want me to update it?" And he said, "Yeah." I go, "I was kidding, but you know what? I'm going to update it for you." And that's what I did. I
Oh, that's
updates on one to play. I follow up to make sure when they were going to open. So, and then everybody else loved that too. So, but that was so funny. I was like, "Tom, you read my column? Oh, I'm so excited."
And you hear how Linda Roth listens? She grabs these pearls just by listening and being observant. Think about that. Oh, thank you, Eric, for sharing. We appreciate that so much because she's got lots of pearls of wisdom here. Any marketing person for any industry can have a ball with that. So, Linda, what's next for LRAPR, and any new campaigns or ways our audience can follow you on your hospitality journal?
Yes, well, we're constantly doing new openings and new projects. So we have a lot coming up in the new year. So we feel blessed because we know that, everybody's thinking like, "Oh, it's uncertain." Well, so far we have some certain contracts. So we know how we are moving forward in the new year, and we love growing with our clients. So that is what makes it really exciting. Like I mentioned with Morton's, when we had grown with them, and like Atlas Brewery, we are growing and we want to keep supporting them. And yeah, it's fun, and it's also we have some of our staff is in different parts of the country, so now we're doing openings in other places too, like Charlotte and like Atlanta, and projects in Miami. So it makes it very exciting.
Fabulous. And there she is, Linda, right there, Roth
Yes.
PR.
That's our handle for Instagram and Facebook.
And do you have any other places for people to reach you?
Yes, that's our website.
Right there. Website, lindarothpr.com. Easy, guys. Linda Roth. You can spell it, PR at the end.com. Just keep it in the back of your mind if you want elegance, dignity, contacts, growth, imagination, and follow through. An unsung hero, Linda Roth. Love you. Friend, someone to look up to. It's been an honor having you on the Cynthia Manion Show for our 100th show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gosh. It's like
yes,
back to your roots in a different way. And here we are, just keeping the world going and being appreciative and grateful. Grateful for all of you joining. Grateful for you making us be around for 100 shows, to the next 100 and a million to go. Thank you so much.
To the next 100.
Woohoo! I got tea. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'll see you Actually, I won't see you next week. We're doing a replay because it is Christmas Eve. So watch
True.
Linda again, the Cynthia Manion Show, and look at the 100 guests that we have because they are each outstanding and you can learn something new from each and every one of them and open your eyes, your heart to other possibilities that will work for you. Be good, make wise decisions. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. Thank you. Woohoo!